Oh, I wanted to try the AirPods. Well, looks like I might have scaled another technological discovery, which is using my AirPods to record the background music, or the background, whatever is happening in background is at a much lower volume. My voice is paramount. I'm at this beautiful forest, state or national forest in California. It's Cleveland National Forest, and I'm really loving it here. It doesn't have much cell service though. And I was thinking that today or at some point, because I'm going to be here for 5 days, that I'd have to drive out and try to find cell service because I had to make a call to one of my healthcare providers. And it just happens to be for my glasses. And in situations like this, first of all, I procrastinate a lot about it. And when I finally do, I mean, it's just really, it's hit or miss. And I've had enough experience that, I really dread it. And lots of times it does go good, but the anxiety is there, or the expectation that it's going to just, be time consuming, and I have to jump through a lot of hoops, and, I have to do all these work. And I supposedly it was like helpline, warranty, So I'm determined, though, now. I am determined now that when I recognize one of these situations, that I actively try to resolve it in a way that doesn't end up with, one person being right and the other person being wrong. It's just more of a feeling of, okay, I feel heard and I hear you too. And in my case, it's like I have heard you, and I have tried to, I have tried to be patient. I have tried to do this. I have tried to do that. And, and that's how I've been my whole life. I'm good at it. Now I'm speaking up a little bit sooner. I know that the job is difficult. And when people are calling, though, they don't, I don't call unless I really need something, because I don't want to be a bother. And so then what happens is that's self-fulfilling. I don't call because I think I'm going to be a bother, but it really is a warranty thing, so, I really should call. And then when I call, then it feels like I'm invisible, or I have to jump through more hoops. And, I was determined that I really would like to, resolve this with conversation. And I tried. First of all, I have to walk a half hour up the hill. I thought I was going to drive, but I found out I could go just right up this hill and get a couple bars. So that was good that I actually got to call without leaving. But then the office manager she just could not get, I was trying to be kind, I was trying to use different words, because I think it's important, if we're going to change the words that we use. And when I say change the words, I am seeking softer words that don't have the charge of violence to them, and just to kind of try to take the charge out of words, to get us to a place where we can see each other as humans again. And I have to say, the office manager, I appreciated. She heard me out. She did hear me out. And at the end of it, she said, basically, I don't know what to say to that. And and that took me back to me trying to explain myself to my dad at one point late in his life. And I got really emotional and started crying about it. So this is a step up that I didn't do that in this situation. And at the end of it, I was spent because of how hard it was to articulate how I was feeling. And my father just looked over at my mother and went, "What is she talking about?" So there's a lot of levels there to, taking up too much space, or talking too much, or using too many words. So I do appreciate that office manager did hear me out because she is a woman of few words. You know, in this culture, really, you get ahead by learning how to be succinct. And I also knew from a prior experience with this very same office that it was, all doom and gloom. What all the bad things that were going to happen, and how I was going to have to pay money, and they couldn't do this, and they couldn't do that, and I was exhausted. But then I hear from the doctor, and then what she said was, call back at 5:30. Well, that's like 2 hours, so I had to walk a half hour back, half a mile back where the bars were and when I got there, actually I spent the afternoon writing an email because I didn't expect that I'd hear from them till tomorrow. So I was going up there to send an email to them. And when I got up there, all of a sudden the phone rang, and it was from the doctor's office. I didn't know if it was going to be the doctor, but it was. And basically the doctor's like, hey, this is what we'll do. I get your situation. Here's what we'll do. Blah, 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 blah. Cost $47. And was that acceptable to you? And the whole thing about the traveling and where to send it and all that. Is that acceptable to you? I'm like, yeah, it is. So I went through all that rigmarole. This is the second time with this office. Another issue that basically once the doctor was in there, the doctor's like, oh yeah, that's really easy. And so that's really an emotional roller coaster. I would say as far as a screener goes that, it's effective for screening out very sensitive people. Because, I'm glad that it has a good resolution. I did get my prescription, and it's good until May, so I think I'm going to try to get a backup pair of glasses because it's almost out of warranty, I'm sure. So that means they're only sending me one thing. It's being discontinued, blah, 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 blah. Might lose this one, who knows. But I'm ready to move on. Flap away, flap away. Everybody's doing the best they can. And I'm doing the best I can too. And I stood up for myself, and I feel like the negotiation was good. I didn't end up in tears, and I'm ready. It's good, and it'll be resolved, and toot sweet. That situation is going to resolve itself. I faced it. I got to a place where I felt good with the solution. And so now, time to just step out of that stream again and back into my stream where it is this gorgeous weather, living out in nature. My daughter has been working with watercolors for years. She is, I just love watercolors. She is absolutely magical with them. And so it's been kind of in my mind to try to maybe try it out now that I'm here on the road, getting a little situated. And I'm going to zoom in here and maybe try to show you what I'm going to try to paint, and then we'll see how good. Not good. It's not about good. It is about just trying. So anyway, I like that. Okay, so it's going to be something like that. All right, I just took a screenshot of it, and we'll see how it goes. Being in Baja and those beautiful colors, and then I went to Utah and camped for a number of days with my friend Terry. She had a little watercolor set, and she made me the most amazing card When I came in to get the card that my friend Terry gave me, which is that one right there, I was inspired to get a couple of other things that I carry around that as inspiration that also are watercolor related now that I'm, I guess, focusing in on it. The first one I want to show you is this one. This was as a art workshop put together by a kindred spirit, Marnie, and I also met Terry there. We were part of a writers group. Marnie had this art workshop, and that's where we all saw each other for the first time. This was another artist that was there. She made this specially for me, and through all the downsizing, I still have it, and I keep it right up there. That's my little night side table. My daughter, an artist from the womb. And she writes these magnificent cards. Oh my gosh. Every eye well up with such emotion of love for her. And so when we go camping together, she comes camping with me quite a couple times a year at least. And she usually has her watercolors with her, and she's doing things. And this is what was the tipping point. That and being in Baja. Those colors, oh my goodness. A couple of months before, Terry and I had made these plans to be together for 4 days in Zion Park. I was pretty rattled, so we didn't do much of anything, very short walks and things like that. But this is what she gave me at the end with this beautiful, oh my gosh, to be continued on the back. Seriously. Wow. I was so surprised because I saw her buttering with it. I was just felt wonderful that I was the recipient of one. Now it's onward for me to jump off and give it a try too. Here we go. Brand new. I have to say that starting anything brand new and making it all messed up is... Do you ever think about that? It's like, oh, I don't want to mess this up. It's so pretty. Look at all the colors. Everything is exact. Comes with this little never before used brush. Wow. Oh, I like... Ooh. Just screws together. Oh, that's kind of handy. Alright, so this is it. A little water. This is my sketch. Yeah, I'm going with it. I'm going to just see how it goes. This is just the first try. Here it is. Overall, very happy. The colors weren't as vibrant when I put them on the page. I was happy to see that after that dried, you know, I can see the possibilities. So stay tuned. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh, this is video.
Oh.
Do you want video?
Oh, that's okay. Oh, yeah. So, Anya, what was it like to work with me?
Enough about you.